Today, I wanted to talk to you about lessons I learned from a 5-year-old. And yes, you heard that right. Um, Sometimes I think when we interact with children, we often don't give them the credit that they're due, that they understand where the world is. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about a lesson I learned from her. So, if any of you have ever listened to presentations, you've heard me talk about my oldest child. My oldest child is a very intelligent little girl who also has really big emotions. And so we typically read books that surround how to deal with some of those emotions, which as adults, I think sometimes we think we got it figured out, we know how to do it, and it's not always the correct way, even for me. And the other night, we had an incident where I got very upset with my kiddos. They weren't listening, they were just being combative and disruptive, and I was just at my wit's end. And so I got really frustrated, and I walked out of the room, and I slammed the door. Yes, I slammed the door. And my 5-year-old comes out to me and goes, "Mama, you needed to do what our character does and take 5 deep breaths and count to 10 afterwards and help yourself calm down." And I looked at her kind of bewildered, right? Because it's like, wow, this is coming out of my little girl. And I was like, you're right. Mommy didn't actually calm down very well, did I? And she said, no, Mama, you didn't. And so what did I do? I took 5 deep breaths and I counted to 10 with her, and I showed her the same way that it's okay that we have emotions and it's okay to come back and figure out how to regulate them. But I think as adults, we also need to do some of these things because we tend to get a lot of stressors and a lot of negativity from our news or from our social media, even from work stuff, right? And so we have all these stressors that bog us down throughout the day, and we don't take time just to breathe and to count and to recenter ourselves so that negativity isn't impacting our mental health. The more that we do those things, the more that we try to learn how to cope and do the small things like taking 5 deep breaths and counting to 10, the less we let all of those stressors come into our lives and shift the way that we're thinking or shift the way that we're reacting to things. And so that's just my short little advice from my 5-year-old to you of how do we take these moments during our lives and really start to recenter and not let everything bog us down. If you guys ever need anything, please feel free to reach out to Core Medical or to either of the therapists who work, and we would be glad to help you. I hope this was a helpful tip today.